Hey guys, it's Dennis with Grouse Monkey Lawn Care. I just want to do a video. Basically, I want this video to be about lessons I've learned in my first year of business. This was my first year solo operation, and I just kind of want to give you guys some mistakes I've made and some lessons I've learned being a first year business guy in the lawn care business. So I would say my first lesson I learned was, you know, don't um, worry about what other guys have and what they don't have. You get all hyped up and you look around and you're running around in your stuff, and these other guys are rolling around with, $25,000 worth of equipment on the trailer, and you're looking at your stuff going, man, am I good enough to do this? Yeah, you are. You got to remember, those guys started off just like me and you or anybody else out there just starting off. They started off with just a simple mower, a truck, a car, whatever it might be, and they worked their way up. So, at first, it kind of discouraged me a little bit seeing the other companies out there with this nice, brand new equipment on their trailers, 3 or 4 mowers going. But that's not who I am on my first year. And I come to realize that, moving forward in my business this year was, I'm comfortable with who I am and what do I have, as far as my equipment and stuff goes. So that was a lesson for me, was not to get too caught up in what, everybody else has and, what they're doing, rather than working on what I'm doing and focusing on where I want to go. So that was a good lesson for me was, yeah, these other guys have stuff and this and that, but, you got to work yourself up to it. It's a progress to getting there. Um, but, and One of the mistakes I made this year was doubting my abilities and what I could and couldn't do. When I say that, it means, going into a job and maybe I haven't done something like that quite yet, or, I don't know a lot about it. I would go in doubting myself. My estimate would be all screwed up. It'd be, all this extra time added on where I probably didn't need it, but I was fearful. Um, doing the estimate, like, you get into it and you're unsure of yourself. And when you walk into something unconfident, it shows and the customers see it. Those are the jobs you typically don't get because they can see, see your expressions, how you're acting, how you're talking, so I've learned to get confidence in everything I've done this year. If you go back to my very first video or first couple of videos, very kind of hesitant, very unsure of what I was doing. But now I feel 100 times more confident in what I'm doing. Um, I walk up to jobs and I'm straight up with the customers now. If I don't know how to do it, I tell them, like, you got the wrong guy. I'm sorry. Like, this is not something I do, or if I think I can do it, I go into it confident knowing I can do it and I bid it accordingly. Not saying that every job I go to I get. No, that's not what I'm saying. It's just the confidence level is much different from when I started till it is now. So that was a big mistake in the first part of the year was, walking into stuff and, being unsure of myself. I should have been more confident up front. I think I would have did a lot better early on, as far as getting more customers. But that was a mistake I made, being unsure of my capabilities and what I could and couldn't do. Another mistake I made was getting into it. The first couple months was my estimates. I didn't want to be the low baller, but I didn't want to come in too high. But after doing it for a while, I came to realize that my prices were a little lower than my competition, which, not a bad thing in some aspects, but it's not good either. I could have probably made an extra, $10 a yard on this one or $5 a yard on that one. And that doesn't sound like much, but when you start adding all that up, if it's a weekly account, that $10 adds up quick, so, it goes back to the confidence thing, when you're doing your estimates, that's something that I had to work on. Um, I'd walk up to something like a tree job or, a shrub or tree trimming job or something like that. And, now when I walk up to them, I'm very confident. I walk up, I walk around the property, look at everything, and I have their estimate right then. I don't have to go and, bite my fingernails and go, oh no, what am I going to do? I'm not like that anymore. It's, I walk up, I look at it, and there's your price. I'm very firm on my prices too. I used to kind of bend a little here and bend a little there, but I can't do that anymore. I mean, I need to be profitable in my business. So, I'm very firm on my estimates, and it's funny because I can look back at, I remember like my first like 10 or 15, customers I picked up, and my last 10 or 15 I picked up. There's a total difference in who I am and what I was doing. They would call, I'd go look at it, and I'd say, hey, it's going to be $45. And they would go, $45 to cut my yard? Yes, ma'am, or yes, sir. It's going to be $45 a week to cut your yard. And they would go, oh man, I don't know. I'm going to have to call you back. And come to find out, my prices were still a little under some of the other competition, but my prices have came up at that point towards the end of the year because I realized what I was worth. Um, and so they would call me back and go, yeah, you got it. You got it. And I would laugh because I was just expecting the phone call to come back because I knew some of these other companies around town where I live, we have a lot of competition, but there's some big companies around here, and they have to charge a lot because they got 4 guys in the truck. They got the 3 mowers on the trailer, and they're trying to just get in and get out, and versus who I am as a business owner, I'm very detailed, very, I want to make sure everything's done the right way. I'm not going to mow someone's yard and go rut it up or tear it up, and I've gotten business from those companies because of that. But, my estimates, like I said, have came up quite a bit. That was a big mistake. It cost me a lot of money, looking back at it now. So, if I had to do all over again, it'd be one of the biggest things I would work on would have been my estimates. Another lesson I learned is, getting paid for what you're worth. That is determined by you, but, this whole video kind of comes all together. It's confidence, and understanding the business better. Now that I feel more confident and I know what I'm worth because I've done these jobs, I know how hard some of these jobs can be. Either I figure in like rental of equipment to make the job 10 times easier instead of using like a wheelbarrow and stuff, go get you a dingo or something. Or B, I've been on these jobs long enough, I've done enough of them now that I know how much time each job should approximately take. So, I mean, that's helped me dramatically, increasing revenue and being confident in who I am in my business, but also getting paid for what I'm worth. When you're out there bidding projects, or yards in the spring when it's nice, but man, you need to take in consideration what's it going to be like on that job when it's July and it's 110 degrees outside and it's hot as hell. That's something I forgot about real quick. And when summer hit, I was like, man, what was I thinking with this price? So, getting paid with what you're worth is a key thing. And you guys, that are in this all know that, so now just going to this next season, I know, I'm very excited because going out to bid new properties, new jobs, I feel 100,000 times more confident in walking up to those properties, not being a nervous Nelly going, oh, what am I going to do? That's not going to be me, moving forward. Like I said, the last clients I picked up towards the end of the year, it was very upfront, hey, this is what it is. This is the terms of the deal. You let me know if it's going to work. And, I would say 10 out of 10, but, I nailed a lot of clients towards the end of the year, and I started realizing, like, check this out. Like, okay, so I can raise my prices and I'm getting better properties and I'm making more money. So I'm getting paid my worth of my work. So, I mean, that I think is the biggest thing besides the estimate was understanding, need to get paid for what you're doing and get paid, well enough to make your numbers that you need to make. Other than that, I mean, those are some of the biggest lessons I think I've learned throughout this first year. Some mistakes I had made and some things that I had to kind of, look at and reevaluate, with me, myself, who I was and where I wanted to be and to where I am now and where I want to go next season. Lessons learned. I think it's good to learn from those lessons. It makes you a stronger person, a better business person. You can become a better teacher too whenever, you still wanted to expand your business out, years down the road where if you wanted to have someone kind of, go out and do estimates for you, if, your significant other like your wife or somebody got involved in the business, you're able to, take them with properties and teach them, how to bid jobs and estimates. So other than that, that's all I got for this video, guys. Things are getting cold here. Might be getting snow overnight and tomorrow. I still got a handful of jobs on the books I got to get taken care of. So hopefully get some video of that coming up. But as always, guys, thank you for watching the videos. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, feel free to subscribe. Other than that, guys, you guys have a good night. Stay safe, stay warm. Thanks, guys.